What is going on, everyone? Hope you've had a safe and awesome week. If you're wondering why you're just seeing the avatar, uh, the Texas weather flip flopping has finally gotten to me, and I didn't want to be on camera because everything on my face looks like it's running like it stole something, and I'm sweating like the Russos told Tom Holland every plot point of Doomsday before he goes for an interview. So, I am just going to be the faceless voice for tonight. Couple of housekeeping things right off the bat. We are now, the last time I checked, and these numbers fluctuate, we are now 11 subs. 11 subs away from 700. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Man, cannot believe we've come this far. Like it's amazing. So I dropped a an unboxing the other day. It was a kind of a collaborative effort between Sean and I, where I did the unboxing and I talked Sean into doing the review for it. Well, as many of you know, if you're friends with Sean on Facebook, Sean was going to do a top 10 comics of 2025. He had sat down, recorded the video, thought he had it done. And we do a lot of in Fillmore recording, just a little behind the scenes stuff. And when he got done, the file was corrupted. Well, fast forward to a couple days ago when I asked him to do this review for me, he was like, "Hey man, it's doing it again." So I went in there and I was like, well, "Where's your stuff save?" Apparently, Sean did not know that everything that he has been saving saves to his C drive. His C drive that was a terabyte was down to like 200 megabytes. Like he had saved games and everything. I was like, bro, I think there's your problem. You can't save anything because you don't have any space. So when he moved some things around, he got it fixed. Because the next thing I was going to tell him to do was just do it straight from Restream, because you can do that. You can record and Restream. But anyway, I got that video out and I said some incorrect things. Now I went back to the video and I put in the comments. It's been a while since I've been on the Bad Bug site, which let me find my little thing here. And they used to have it to where when you went to their site, they showed you the Kickstarters they had going. Well, that part isn't there anymore. So that was mistake number one. Mistake two, I had said you could go to the site and order books. I said that meaning older books that they had. Murder Mary itself is kind of a newer series, so I'm not like 100% sure when they're going to put that on the site, but you can go and get their older books. Because I think Sean also said in his review you could get Murder Mary on the site, but it's not up yet. But you can get older books from Bad Bug. So just wanted to throw that out there. Um, let's see what else. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all that tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, you can join us live on the experience for the producer live sale. Kyle is going to be going through, I think he said letters D through whatever we get through. Kyle is still kind of under the weather, but he's doing better. I had just started, but should be a fun time. I'll see if he'll let me have my camera off then too. If not, you can watch my melty face on that. So be sure to check that out. Sub up to the experience. Great shows all week. Um, Now we are just gonna hop right into woo. Well, there's K-pop junkie. I clicked the wrong thing. K-pop junkie, the live queen. She's usually not on until later because she's probably live right now. But I want to go ahead and bring on, and I'll pop them up here, just so if you're not subbed up to them yet, let's bring on Nope and Ed. Where to go? There we go. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good about you.
Uh, I'm here.
I sounded like you last week.
Yeah.
That was too funny, dude. He just got done telling everybody. He's like, "How you doing?"
Yeah.
So how you doing, Jay?
I am.
Oh, sorry. I had to.
surviving. I am surviving right now. The weather, like I said, Texas weather has been flip flopping for the last 2 months. It's been 30, then it's 80. Then yesterday it was like 70 something, and right now it's 48. It's just all over the place. It finally got me. So
Same here.
You got 58 on Friday. Broke a 140-year-old record or something.
Dang.
ugh.
Today it's been snowing all day.
I know if you go to the Weird Oaks YouTube page and you check out their shorts, and I'm not just talking about Leonard Nimoy's banana hammock that he's wearing, but you can see the snow that they're getting.
Oh, I was not ready for that, Jay.
You're welcome.
Banana hammock. That's great.
You're welcome. So, speaking of Sean's top 10, since it's going to be a while before he gets back, and I know he really wanted to do something about it, he had actually posted what his top 10 was on Facebook. So I asked him tonight, I said, would you mind terribly if later on during the show, before we end, if I just show off your top 10? That way it's on video, it's out there. I'll read directly what Sean says in the Facebook thing. He goes, yeah, because it's going to be a while before I can be on the show. And by then, doing a 2025 list, a month into 2026, he goes, you just go ahead and do it. So a little bit later on, we're going to be talking about Sean's top 25 or top 10 list of 25. That's what I mean to say. But as far as I go, I have continued my continued my reading at least one comic a day. And we left off on the third, which that was Battle Pope 1 through 5 is what I read then. What I've read since then is Immortal Edge and Batman 4 and 5. This series continues to be awesome. I love this. This isn't quite quite as much as I love Absolute Batman, but this is a close. It kind of goes Absolute Batman, Immortal Legend Batman, and then the Matt Fraction Batman that's going on right now. I'm really enjoying this though. What they're doing with some of the characters has been fantastic. I still love this suit a whole lot, but it's been a really great read. So that's what I read on the 4th. Now this next one, I'm going to skip around a little bit on it. I just put the trade up there because on the 5th I read Absolute Superman numbers 1 through 10. Then the next day I read 11 through 14. Then I took a break from because it wasn't out yet. Took a break from that and I read Final Boss number 2. And this one, aside from like the first issue of this, was like all the ultra violence was at the end of the book. In this one, all the ultra violence is at the beginning because it's the aftermath of what happens in issue 1. This book is crazy good. And it's nuts. It really reminds me of Mortal Kombat with a little bit of Highlander energy because it feels like this dude took somebody out and kind of like gained his power. Let's see. And then the next day I went back because issue 15 came out of Absolute Superman, which was a brand new story arc. So it was crazy to me that issues 1 through 14 was one arc of this book. Now, I had already read because I have what Sean did for us was he got us, at least for me, I got a cover A and the foil logo of most of these Absolute books when they came out. I've read the first issue of all the stuff, right? But it had been so long and I was so far behind on this one that I just reread it. What a fantastic book this is. Granted, it's not as popular as, say, not only Absolute Batman, but Absolute Wonder Woman. But for me, this is a solid book. This is such an interesting Superman story. There are things that happen, like the end of issue 14 just like got me in my feels. Like this story was good. And this new arc that they're starting, they kind of introduce, or they're about to introduce, a character that I can't believe did not even show up in the first 14 issues of this story. Like the big bad in this for the first 14 issues was not usually Superman's big bad that they use for everything else. So I had a ton of fun reading this one. I can't wait for more. This is definitely getting traded as soon as I can. Now that I'm caught up on this one, I think my next journey is going to be reading all the Absolute Batmans. Because on top of reading number 15 of this, I also, the same day, read Absolute Batman Arc M, which, to be honest, Arc M is its own separate one-shot story. So you don't have to worry about it like really spoiling anything for you. Or at least because I haven't read more than 3 issues of Absolute Batman, didn't spoil anything for me. But that one was, yeah, there we go, on the slide. So this was a really cool book. It really was. It's backstory on Arkham. I can't remember the guy's first name, but and throughout it, it's showing you a certain villain, but at the end of the book, it's not the villain you thought it was. Like it's very twisty, very turny. This was really good, and I'm not a spec person. I I don't know how much a book is going to be or whatever, but I will tell you this: Absolute Joker issue that was I think 15, and this one and the annual. I think outside of Absolute Batman number 1 are going to be the other issues that are going to be just really hard to find if you want first prints later on. I think these are going to be really tough to get first prints of at a decent price where you're not paying $140 for an issue of a comic. If you're like me and you don't care what print number it is, just as long as you get to have the book and read it, then cool. But definitely like the annual has been sold out freaking everywhere, and it's already in the double digits online and everything. But yeah, this has been really good. The absolute stuff, the all in stuff has just been fantastic. And then a book that I think people are sleeping on. I read yesterday. I read Escape number 5. I, I I think people are sleeping on this one. It's it's one that I would tell you. Look, it's a slow burn comic. It feels like almost all the action happens in the first issue, and the rest is just our main character Milton trying to get out of this city surrounded by the enemy. But it's fantastic. It is a fantastic book. I can't wait for the next issue of it. I don't know how many it's going to be. I don't know if it's ongoing or whatever, but every issue so far, it doesn't feel like filler to me. It feels like it's moving the story forward. So this is really good. This is Escape from Image. And then today, finally, I got to read. I saw Santa number 2.
Hmm.
Holy crap! Now, I think Corey had told me before that it was only going to be 2 issues, and it ends. It does, like, it has a definitive end, but there's going to be another I saw with somebody replacing Santa coming soon. And when you read the issue, you'll figure that out. There's, I thought was like a quick throwaway cameo in this one that ended up showing back up near the end of the story. And I was like, oh, that looks good. Like, this is a Spawn universe title. And those 2 issues were fantastic. If you're into holiday horror stuff and you have not tried out I Saw Santa, like I said, it's only 2 issues. Give it a shot. Really, really dug it. And one book that I'm excited for, I think it's coming out in February, it said, is this right here.
Oh yeah,
DC KO Boss Battle. Let me see if I can make that a little bigger. There we go.
I already got mine pre-ordered.
This is the Derek Robertson variant, and many of you may know Derek Robertson was Robertson was the artist for The Boys as well. Yeah, I saw this cover and I was like, oh my, I can't wait. This is like one of my most anticipated books of this year. Is this one right here? So hopefully that's not just a cover that they did. Hopefully that, I mean, we've already heard from Scott Snyder it's happening, but I don't know.
The only thing that irks me about that title or that cover is it looks like they've had Homelander beating the hell out of Superman. His cape's all ripped, his uniform's all ripped, and he's standing there prim and proper.
Oh, the only reason that that's going to happen is Superman's holding back.
I'm just saying. I loved the cover, but I'm like, wait a minute. Who got beat up wrong? This should be the other way around.
Yeah, it's giving me very big.
Or Homelander. Homelander could have let somebody else kick his ass first, and then he's just coming in.
That's true too. He's
try and
just coming
clean
in
up.
to clean up. Yep, that could be like. I'm excited for the story. This cover does kind of feel like a little Superman versus the Elite, where they kind of kick his ass for most of it, and then he turns it on. It could be something much like that. Like, I don't know. I'm very interested to see where they go with this story.
And is Superman wearing gloves?
Well, if you've not read DCKO, little small spoilers, they get to have a weapon of their choice, and he has these wraps, and you can't really see it, but you see how his fingers are kind of sparking, like he's got that yellow. It's because he's got like little mini suns on these wrist wraps, so they're like brass knuckles, but with like exploding suns or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, DCKO has been really, really cool. I've only read 2 issues so far, but there's those 2 issues. There's Night Fight, which I only read, or Night Fight, which I've only read the first issue of that. Which again, I will tell people this: if you haven't read DCKO yet, don't read the Night Fight stuff yet, because the Night Fight stuff might spoil stuff in DCKO for you. Like these are actually like tied together, not just a throwaway. Hey, in name only, it's connected to this story. No, they're actually connected. So just be warned.
The FLC on this, I think, is Monday too.
Yeah, this.
So if you want to order it, you got to order it quick.
Yeah, I said on the art show last night. This right here it's like somebody finally woke up. Like, this is how comics are going for me right now. Okay, it's like companies woke up and were like, you know what? If we gave people crossovers like this, we could make tons of money. Because that's exactly what this is. People are gonna pay to watch Homelander and Superman fight. They're gonna pay to see Vampirella versus whoever, Red Sonja versus whoever, Samantha from Beneath the Trees versus whoever, Annabelle versus whoever. Like, the crossovers we're getting and we're gonna continue getting this year have just been wild. They've been wild, and I can't wait. So have y'all got to read anything or watch anything interesting this week?
I read Murder Mary today. That was pretty fun. Got a kick out of all those.
Very
A little
nice. Yeah.
crossover and Easter eggs and stuff that are in there. It's
Yes. Have you got to read 2 yet?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep. What I read that one not too long before we started.
Oh, okay. How about you, Ed? Have you been able to read either one of those yet?
No, not fortunately.
Okay.
I had one of those weeks this week. I didn't get much fun time in.
Gotcha. All right. Well, something else I wanted to touch on real quick because I saw this trailer and I couldn't believe that's not what I wanted to do. Where's it at? There we go. This is an image from Gale, the Yellow Brick Road, the horror movie from Wizard of Oz. Which when I saw this the first time, I said to Ed, I thought Return to Oz was scary enough, but I was just thinking to myself, I was like, what else is going to go into public domain that's going to be a horror movie? Is there something? Because like I started thinking to myself, one day Bluey, they're going to have a Bluey horror movie, or
just wait until they have that Mickey Mouse, Winnie the Pooh, Wizard of Oz crossover horror story. Winnie the Pooh eats Mickey Mouse or something.
There's the Pooniverse stuff, but there's also, it has another name too. It's like Twisted Childhood, something or another. But it's like Bambi and Peter Pan and Winnie the Pooh. And is there something from your childhood where you think eventually they're going to make a horror movie out of it?
Oh, just about everything I watched.
Yeah, nothing I can think of off the top of my head.
I didn't know if it would be horror or not, but I was hoping they would do a Scooby-Doo one, which they've done several.
There's been some weird Scooby-Doo things I've watched on YouTube. One where you find out Scooby is like this ancient thing that keeps resetting them in different like animation styles. And
I saw that one.
Oh my goodness, Jenna showed me that and I was like, like we're gonna get Fang Face or Jabberjaw. I mean, technically they did Banana Splits, because at the time they did Banana Splits and Willy's Wonderland, because I guess they couldn't do Five Nights at Freddy's just yet. So I was like, the Banana Splits horror movie.
La 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 la.
Yeah, some of that stuff's already horror. Oh, there you go. Have a Teletubbies crossover horror movie with them.
Time for Blue's Clues.
Blue's Clues. Like I said, we're gonna see
Murder Mystery.
Oh my goodness.
We just got a letter.
It's a ransom letter.
Dora the Horror. Not whore, but horror.
Oh, I was gonna say I saw that, but not that one. No.
Yeah, I saw a couple of those. That's the
Dora,
one thing you can always count on.
Cartel story.
What's in her backpack? Ooh.
Yeah.
A cartel story.
And Swiper's the good guy.
Oh God. Yeah. Like I said, there's just I keep seeing all these things, and there's something wild I learned. And I think because Wicked for Good came out, I did not know that apparently the movies cannot use the ruby red slippers. They have to be like silver. They have to be a different color. They're no longer ruby red for some reason. Yeah. There's something in there. It's kind of like, so Superman is eventually going to public domain, but it's only like a certain costume or something that he wears. Some weird thing like that. So apparently with some of these stories, they couldn't use ruby red slippers. So
I didn't know where you were going with that, man. Because you went right for ruby red slippers, and then you were like, just like what they're gonna do with Superman. I'm like, what? And then you started talking. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, you gotta let people finish.
Why? I never had. Whoops.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not exactly true, is it, Ed? Anyway, so yeah, I saw this and I was just like, I'm thinking back to the old days, the early 1900s. They weren't really that early. They were technically the late 1900s. Things like Pinocchio's Revenge and the Rumpelstiltskin movie that starred Quark's cousin from Star Trek. I can't remember the actor's name, but there was a Rumpelstiltskin horror movie. There was a Pinocchio horror movie. And
now that you mention that stuff, I actually thought of one, and that was Krampus. Because when I was a kid, my dad taught us about Krampus and Belsnickel to scare my nieces and nephews into behaving themselves. And I was always like, man, that'd be a badass movie. And then Periwinkle. So they could do that too.
Yeah. And I mean, Krampus kind of has, 3 or 4 movies now.
Yeah, I know, but the other two are just, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But one of them's not bad.
Yeah, there's that, and then I think I've clocked 3 or 4 different Popeye horror movies.
Yeah. And are any of them real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Couple of them are.
Well, I know they were showing.
Yeah.
I know they were showing one where that dude from that remake of Roadhouse was Popeye. And everybody's like, that's fake. That can't be real.
That one is fake.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I mean. So I didn't know which ones are fake and which ones are real.
Yeah. Well, it's getting harder.
Yeah,
to
any of the
tell,
ones that are real don't have big name actors, I don't think.
No.
So if you recognized anybody, it probably wasn't real.
Yeah. So wanted to get on. Here we go. I got to find his. So what I'm going to do next, y'all, is, like I said, Sean worked really hard on this list. I don't do top lists. I do favorites because I have analysis paralysis. Too bad for me to be like, oh, let me put my my absolute, what I thought were the 10 best. I can't do it. And luckily for me, he actually added some books that I left off my favorite lists that I had downloaded, had ready to put on the show, and totally forgot them. So what I'm going to do now is I made something a little special for this. We're going to do this right here. And I'm going to take the chat off for just a second. There we go.
And now for your viewing pleasure, America and the internet's favorite imaginary friend brings you the top 10 comics of 25.
Yes, I totally made that before the show today. So, starting off, Sean's top 10 of 25. We got Predator versus Spider-Man.
I need to finish this still.
Yeah.
But what I've read is great.
Yep. So, Predator versus Spider-Man from Marvel Comics, written by Benjamin Percy, pencils by Marcelo Fiera, Inks by Jay Leiston, and colors by Frank Darmada. Letters were by Clayton Cowles.
So you started with his number 1 book?
No, it's number 10.
I'm just saying.
We're counting down.
I understand that, but it just blows my mind that he thinks there were 9 books better than this one.
Yeah, well, he does have some pretty good ones on here. Which he also noted, glad I let old Eddie Von B talk me into this one.
Oh.
Such a dope miniseries. Art was on point.
I'm glad he liked it because I know I loved it.
Glad he let you talk him into it because apparently he wasn't listening to me when I said it was good.
Well, I can't blame him there. But.
Yeah, so there's number 10. Number 9, Speed Racer. Where's the thing? Speed Racer from Mad Cave Studios, written by David Pepos, art by David Tinto. And he might have spelling errors in here, folks, so I'm trying my best. Colors by Rex Locus and letters by Buddy Wadone. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right or even close. He says this one could have easily not been good because an anime slash book involving car racing could be hard to illustrate. Nah, this team nailed it. I love it. Y'all had a chance to check this one out yet?
Mm-mm.
I read the first issue, and I think the free comic book day issue, and it was good. I think I just wound up getting to the shops late. Didn't have them putting it on my pole, so this one just slipped through the cracks for me. But what I did read was good.
I thought Dynamite was doing Speed Racer, or am I thinking of something else?
You're probably thinking of something else written by David
Captain
Pepos.
Planet.
Okay.
Because Pepos is writing. Is he also writing Captain Planet?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, he's
so-
doing Space Ghost and Captain Planet.
Yeah.
And then this for Mad Cage.
Yeah. This and Dick Tracy are two of the ones that Mad Cave is doing that I'm surprised Dynamite didn't get.
Flash Gordon is another one too.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And I think
All
the
right.
Phantom, don't they do the
Yes.
Phantom too? Okay.
Yes, Phantom has Mad Cave, yeah. Or Mad Cave has Phantom. All right. So next up on his list, No Heroine. This is Second Chances. This is the second kind of story arc. This one's written by Frank Gogol with art by Chris Mad, colors by Shauna Mad, and letters by Sean Reinhart. He says, I selfishly would love it if Frank was able to put out more books. But when he releases one, it always knocks it out of the park. The art team on this did amazing. And as usual, the story is much deeper than the words and art say, which is what makes Frank, to me, one of the best writers around. Now, the first No Heroine story was about an addict who is, I think, 3 months sober. And she goes to find her friend, and her friend has been kidnapped by vampires. So it's a vampire story in that one. But they're like drug dealing vampires. Really, really great story. For me, it was Frank's personal story that he puts at the end of the trade that really is the gut punch. For me, there's a reason he wrote this story. This one, our heroine, I think that's how you say it. She's back, and this time it's witches. Now, this is part 1. I think Frank said this was going to be a 2 or 3 part series. So I definitely backed this when it first came out. Gave it to Sean to read. And obviously he liked it if it made it on his top 10 list. So, yep. Kickstarter book.
I'm going to ask who published it.
Well,
I remember hearing something about this before, but maybe I'm thinking of a different book.
No, because the first part of No Heroine was a Source Point book.
Okay.
So you could get the first volume, quote unquote, of this from Source, in comic shops, because it was done by Source Point. This one, though, is kind of like how Kyle Starks went with Where Monsters Lie through Kickstarter,
Right.
because it was a Dark Horse book. It's kind of the same thing that happened with No Heroine. Like, Source Point released the first part of it. Frank went to Kickstarter for this one.
Gotcha. More control.
Yeah. All right. Next up on the list, Nemesis Forever. From Dark Horse Comics, written by Mark Miller and art by Giovanna Nero and Matteo Scalero. And it says here, Jay picked this as part of a review show we did a few months back. I don't know how I've never read any of the previous volumes. This is so good because sometimes I just want the villain to kick ass. And that's exactly what the No Heroine books are, folks, if you've never read them. They're very slow burns, very methodical, but our bad guy is a bad guy. There's no redeeming qualities. Picture Batman as an even bigger prick with unlimited funds and really no hero to stop him. And that's what you get with Nemesis. So, next up, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring. This was a surprise hit, the first one at least. It was one that I'd heard about. I was like, you know what? I want to read this. I waited. Sat down to read issue 1. I personally read the whole thing. So Sean and I, like, after I read it, Sean had read it, and then we were like, when we found out Rite of Spring was coming out, we were both super excited for it. So, at number 6, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring, written and illustrated by Patrick Horvath, with letters by Hassan Atsmani El Hau. The cute, adorable book that's a bloody epic mess. While not as good as Volume 1, Sean says, this still delivered for me. And it hits that nostalgia of remembering when internet and forums started getting big when I was a teenager. Because in this one, people are really using the internet. And it's kind of wild to remember that the book is set in the early 90s or whatever. So, yeah, I totally get that. This next one was the one that I left off my favorites book. I went back and I was like, I cannot believe I forgot this book. And that is Murder Mary. So, Murder Mary from Bad Bug Media, written by Scott Wilkie, art by Marcos Almeida, colors by Marco Bracco, letters by Dave Lentz. Sean says, easily the most fun series of the year. This is Bad Bug Media's Deadpool. She can cross dimensions, and the Easter eggs so far through 2 issues of the Bad Bug universe have been chef's kiss. And I have to fully agree. When I read issue 2, Sean said it best in his review. Issue 2 isn't as loaded down with Easter eggs as the first issue was, but they're still there. They're still fun to find. There's some that don't stand out as much as others. Others are, hey, it's this character full on the page. Others are, look at the socks she's wearing in this page.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's things like that. So this is a super fun series. He and I both agree to that. And like I tell people all the time, I am so basic. I love Deadpool, and if you make any Deadpool adjacent character, I'm all in. You got my attention. So there's Murder Mary.
It's cleverly written too.
Oh, Scott is so smart.
And the self deprecation too, when they make fun of themselves. That's the best part of the books.
Yes. One day I'm gonna get them to release their email chains or their message chains to each other, because they are brutal to each other. What I hear from all of them. So
Yeah, they could put those like on the last page of one of their comics.
it'd be. I told them, I said, y'all would make
Or
just
Murder Mary leaking them at the end.
yes. Yeah,
Or
that'd be so
make
smart.
it its own little issue that you can get as a giveaway for the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I would love it because
Stretch goal.
hanging out with these guys, like we haven't had the like the pleasure to hang out with Mike. Mike was busy when we were in Virginia visiting, but just hanging out with Alan and Will, it was a blast. These guys are so cool. They're so much fun. Like it was Mike and Sean's share a birthday. So I went to tell Mike happy birthday, and his answer to me is, "I'll kiss you."
Mm.
I love that. Like it's things like that. I love that. And then it was I think it was Alan's birthday the other day. So happy belated birthday to both of you, even though I said it to you. But yeah, Bad Bug is definitely a company that all the people are great. They sound like they hate each other sometimes, but they're fantastic and they're all hilarious. Oh, next up, now
Yeah, buddy.
I said I was going to start doing this, and I'm going to do it. So we got Noped into this. This was Nope's pick for us to read during that review show, and I think all of us really dug it. I was just going to read because of how I do reviews. I have to take notes because I will forget most of the time. I was just going to read an issue of this, and I personally I couldn't stop. I read it all, and I can't wait for more of this. And Sean says, at his number 4, Bug Wars from Image Comics, written by Jason Aaron, art by Mahmoud Asrar, colors by Matthew Wilson, and letters by Becca Carey. Mr. Note from Weirdos Podcast picked this on the review show we did. This one came out of left field. Totally did not expect it to be so good. We have been talking about this book since we read it. Nope. Thank you. And in at number 3, you saw it on my read list this week. Immortal Legend Batman. Sean says, Immortal Legend Batman from DC Comics, written by Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom. Art by Erica Durso and Dan Morrow. Colors by Igor Monti and Tamara Bonvillain. And lettered by Becca Carey. This was another book that could have not been good. You take a bit of Power Rangers and Radiant Black lore and mix it with Batman. And that's this series. What an absolute banger. Especially issue 3, which is one of the single best issues I've ever read, period. And I believe that is a character I'm not going to spoil because now I remembered who it was. Yeah, this has been really fun. Hold on just a second. I didn't want to hack in anybody's ears. This series, I've heard from people, if you've read Power Rangers or Radiant Black, you've already read this book. Well, I've read neither of those, so I love this. Sean has been a person who's read Power Rangers and Radiant Black, and he still loves this. Like, this is such a cool Elseworld take on Batman. It's almost like, oh my goodness, Batman Beyond, but an upgrade, and then in a different part of the universe, like, our world. Sorry. This has been super dope. I can't wait to see this costume and other things. Waiting for a new Batman game. I hope this is like an unlockable suit because I love this suit, and you can definitely tell this Batman did not skip leg day. The next up, Jump Scare. Ever since I know Nope heard it from somebody else, and I think you said that it was
AJ.
AJ on the show. Well, I didn't hear it from AJ. I heard it from you. So I heard it from you. I read it. I loved it. I bugged Sean about reading it. Sean read it, and he says, Jump Scare from Dark Horse Comics, written by Cullen Bunn, art by Danny Luckert, letters by Joshua Reed. This is 2025's Where Monsters Lie Grandma Chainsaw. It's bloody, gory, and hilariously awesome. Oh, and did I mention at one point she uses a chainsaw glove? This series, to me, was one of the most surprising things that I read. This is a character who, as long as people aren't looking at the spot, she could teleport to. She's a horror movie fan, and one of her powers is she can conjure a weapon from any horror movie she's ever seen. Any movie she's seen, and she has seen a lot. So this one was tons of fun. And again, this is one that there's got to be more. I hope that Cullen is not done with the story, but man, this was a ton of fun. I can definitely see why it's at number 2. Now, number 1 spot, not surprising, if I'm being 100% honest. Hey, what's going on, Lorena?
Hey, Lorena.
This one wasn't surprising. He's been talking about this ever since he read it. I've talked about how much I love it, and that's Frost. Frost is his number 1. From Bad Bug Media, written by Scott Wilkie, art by Arturo Mesa, and letters by Dave Lentz. 2 books by Scott in the top 5? Yep, that's correct. You take the legend of Jack Frost and mix it in with John Wick with a sprinkle of Kill Bill, and you get this masterpiece of a one-shot. For folks that don't know, Arturo Mesa was the artist on Periwinkle. And then Dave just does everything. So Dave's in there too. But I can agree with this one. I can see why other ones would actually take the top spot, but I can definitely agree with this one being number 1 of 2025 for him. But it was a good list. Like I said, there was he was very, very disheartened when he sat there and recorded the whole thing and couldn't get it to do anything. It didn't save anywhere. There was nothing. And Sean is not one to do things more than once or maybe twice. And then he's like, nope. I said, okay. So I said, I asked him to say, hey man, would you be all right? Because I wanted to do either a short or maybe talk about this like on the live, because it's a great list. Like I said, I can't make lists like this. I can't do top 10s. I can't do it. That's why when we did it, I did favorite comics, because I don't know. I'm just not very good at ranking things. Now, outside of Bug Wars, was there any book in 2025 that you thought stood out? Either one of you.
Devil on My Shoulder.
Fantastic. Yes.
We've talked about it every week, but I'll keep talking about it because I want to read the next one.
Sacrificers. After reading into that one, I really like that story.
I need to read more into that, because I think I only read the first issue to do the review on. I think I need to dive back.
The second one takes off. So
yeah, last year
it makes sense.
Yeah.
All the questions you have from the first one that you're like, there's a lot going on here, but I'm just not sure. Answers a lot of those in the second one.
Yeah, I'm gonna dive back into that one. Like I said, this past year, I read so many things that I didn't think I was going to read. I never thought for a second that a book like Escape would be one I'm still talking about. I never thought I was going to love a Cap series as much as that. Oh my good, the Chip Zdarsky one. Like I still dig that one.
Oh, it's Captain America.
Yeah. You know,
Gotta go let a
I
dog out tomorrow.
never. Yeah, okay. I never thought that I was going to see so much love for DC. For a while, it's been Marvel, 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 and DC kind of trailing behind. Which is weird because again, I don't dislike Marvel at all, but I mainly read older Marvel stuff. Nowadays, unless it's just a story that has nothing to do with any like event they're doing, I get so lost trying to keep. It's almost like a couple years ago when we had like 15 different Red Sonja books to try to keep track of.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I feel that way about Marvel sometimes, especially because they're going from the Age of Extinction to Age of Revelation to House of the Rising Sun meets zombies or whatever. Like there's so much, and I'm like, simplify. Just need to go back, like just wipe it out and simplify. But you know, as people have told me before, the same thing with like variants. Well, once people stop buying them, they'll probably stop making them.
Yep.
So obviously
Cut back
having
on them substantially.
15 different 15 just having 15 Spider-Man books and 4 Wolverines, as long as people are buying them, they're going to keep making them. But for me, I'm like, I don't mind events, but it feels like Marvel has an event every other month, and there's no sense of urgency. Feels like I can
Twice
wait.
a year.
Twice a year. But it feels like it though. Maybe it's because of all the tie-ins. I don't know.
It's like summertime and fall, winter time into, and then spring break.
It still
Because
feels
such a trip to
Delayed.
watch when this happens. Yeah, your Godzilla face so good. It was awesome.
yeah. But I don't know. I guess there's just something about it. It makes it feel like. And again, maybe it's just the tie-ins. Maybe that's what always throws me off. The like prelude to this and prelude to that, and then the next thing you know, it feels like there's another thing just ramping up.
Like you can't go up and say, "What's the current story for Spider-Man?" without going, "Which one?"
Yeah. Like, I mean, even Punisher
Yeah.
has 2 books going right now. Like, I've been digging the Red Band. I haven't read the Panosian Palmiotti one. Issue 20, something that's killing the children, and started reading Woman of Tomorrow. See? Yeah, that's Bilquis Evely. Her art is phenomenal in that book. And I'm glad that you like it, because I also saw that Triple B dropped a video today where he had gotten it, and he said he's like 3 issues in and he loves it too. So that's awesome that Woman of Tomorrow is getting so much love. Lorena, you might not have been here earlier. I am caught up on Absolute Superman. That's the only Absolute title I'm caught up on, but I'm caught up on it as of not yesterday, day before. Read it before work. Fantastic. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say you had something that stood out for you in 2025?
Who?
Well,
Me?
nope. Yeah.
We've both
Sacrificers.
said one.
Okay, sacrifice.
Yeah.
Y'all, my brain is like 1,000 degrees right now.
All good. Cold medicine brain.
I wasn't sure what year Periwinkle came out either.
Periwinkle
Because if
was
that would have been 25, that might have won.
no, I think that was 2021.
Okay.
I think.
So he only does one of these like every other year or something?
Well, for that one, I think so.
Wasn't originally
one-
part of a secondary, like expanded universe that time, though, wasn't it? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, it was. Damn, I'm trying to remember. It was a one shot that he did, and it was the whole thing all at one time. And then from there, he said he was going to start spinning out into the other ones. So it's been a long time since he explained what Periwinkle was going to be, but yeah, I think he's doing those one a year, and then he's got things like Dead End Moon, which I believe Dead End Moon is on Kickstarter right now. That's another series that he does for Bad Bug. Like if you go on the Bad Bug site, you'll see a few things. I think they got Bobby Joe and Undercity Tales, which is another one Scott does. And yeah, I think Dead End Moon. Let me go grab that link for Dead End Moon. Okay, so I got 2 links I'm going to drop in the chat as soon as I get the thing to load. So we got Dead End Moon coming from Bad Bug. The Absolute Wonder Woman I've read 3 or 4 issues of. I figured I'm going to start with my favorite character first and start with Superman. Then next is going to be Batman. Then I'm going to get to Wonder Woman. Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter are on the list, but I don't know. I'm not in the biggest rush to get to either one of those. Not that I don't think they're going to be great, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. Those 2 are like, they're on the list, but they're not like, I have to get to those right now.
Some of them feel like they'll be better when you have more of the story to keep going with.
Yes. And then we have number 2 of Curse of Cleaver County from Garrett Gunn. So be sure to check those 2 out. Curse of Cleaver County still has 18 days to go. It's already well over funding, so you're guaranteed to get a copy. Dead End Moon is, again, well overfunded. It's got 9 days to go. So Dead End Moon is like a supernatural western. To give you a little synopsis, it's like vampires, wargs, ghosts, river sirens get tossed into like this cursed melting pot. And then you have the main character. Her name's Maggie Dean. She's a bounty hunter with a chip on her shoulder, a curse on her soul, and a list of debts longer than her saloon tab. She's a super fun character. Again, that's another Scott Wilkie book. Yeah, there really are so many things to read, and right now there's so many good things to read. Like it's crazy to me what we got towards the tail end of last year and what we're going to be getting this year. Like DC to me is just, they really upped their game. and I'm hoping that Marvel Comics does the same thing. Like I said, there's a few Marvel Comics that I'm really into, and that's the Punisher, the Red Band Punisher, and the Zdarsky Captain America. But hoping we get some stuff like that, because Absolute is just it's wild to me how popular the Absolute stuff is. Ugh. Okay. Choking. So whew. So let's see what else do I have? Well, I have foregone doing the wheel of names for the book this week. I think I'm just going to spin the wheel. This week. I'm going to figure out a better way to do this. Like, I want people to be able to pick books, but it's got to be books on my list. So I'm trying to figure out, and I will eventually figure out something to do. Hold on just a second, folks. Ugh. My goodness. Having the sore throat and the scratchiness, trying to do talking for an hour is not great. It's like I said, I'm just sweating. Yesterday, I had to change my shirt like 3 different times, and I wasn't even on camera. I was just working, and it's not that it's hot in this house. It's just I just had the sweats like terrible. So probably like flu or something. But we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna switch it over to the book that was on the list last week. Die. I'll make that a little bigger there. So I've been hearing about this book from folks I know for a long time, mainly the ones that are into like D&D. And I don't know what it is, but I'm the same way with D&D as I am about sports. I'm not a sports person. Not even a little bit. I mean, well, I can't say not even a little bit because I'll watch like hockey or lacrosse. And if you put Pete Weber on my bowling, I'll watch Pete Weber bowl because I think he's hilarious. But I would rather watch TV shows and movies about sports. And I'm the same way about D&D. Like, show me a D&D movie, I'm there. Stranger Things, heavily D&D influenced. I'm there. The game itself, too boring. I get bored. Nothing against anybody who plays it, anybody who loves it, just not for me. But this is definitely a book for if you don't care at all about D&D. This book is dope. It is so dope. So in 1991, 6 teenagers sat down to play a role-playing game. They disappeared without explanation. There were no clues. They had vanished. They were found 2 years later in a forest over 50 miles away. When asked where they were, they could only respond, "I can't say." No one found out where they had gone or who could have taken them. Everyone was just glad they had escaped. The year is 2018. The teenagers are now adults. They're about to discover that no one escapes. Now, I can tell you this, I've already read 5 issues of this. I'm going to continue, like some of the other books on my list that have been chosen. I'm going to continue reading this because that synopsis, it might be enough to pique your interest, but the story, my goodness. So it's one of the main characters' birthdays. and their friend, I want to say his name is Soul, decides he made this campaign for him. So the guy brings his little sister with him, and they have some other friends there. So there's 6 of them total. Each one of them get their own die. When they go to play, we zoom in on a shot of Soul's mom, and she just feels like something's off. She runs up to the room. All the kids are gone. So yeah, they show up in a forest 2 years later, but it's really in the middle of a road, and they're almost hit by a car. But there's only 5 of them, not 6, and one of them's missing an arm. We fast forward 25 years later, and they're all adults, and the main character and his sister are talking to each other, and they get a package delivered to the bar, which I thought was like weird. But they open it up, and it's a bloody die. So they decide they still talk to all the other members of the party, except for the one missing, obviously. They decide they can't make any decisions without everyone else. So they all get together, and what happens? They get sucked back into the game like it's Jumanji. And they have to defeat the game master once again to escape. Like I said, I'm only on issue 5, or going into 6 of this series. And my goodness, this thing is just, I'm going to just show the first couple of pages so it's not very spoilery. But this thing it's been fire so far. And I cannot believe I've put off this long reading this book. There's 20 issues total, I believe. And then, if you get done with that, I think sometime last year they started it up again with Die Loaded. So if you enjoy the first series, which I think there's 2 or 3 trades, I can't remember. There's more, and I can't wait to start. I can't wait to finish this to get into this, because this was excellent. This is let's see, written by Karen Gillan, art and colors by Stephanie Hans, and lettered by Clayton Cowles. But yeah, this was a book that I knew I was going to like it, but it's one of those, it caught me off guard that I can't believe I like it as much as I do. And the fact that I had to stop myself, because I started reading this last night. And like I said, I've been sick, so I've been worn down. I had to stop myself because I was, not that it wasn't exciting, but I was like, I'm going to finally sleep at my desk last night because I didn't want to stop reading it. So do yourself a favor, folks. Go to your LCS, go to wherever you get comics. If it sounds interesting to you at all, give Die a chance. Because me personally, I thought it was fantastic so far. Like I said, 5 issues in, going into 6. Fantastic so far. Probably after the show tonight, I'm going to read a little bit more. So that was the pick this week. Die from Image.
You're definitely not a slogan writer. You missed a perfect opportunity. Give Die a chance. Come on, give Die a try, dude. Come on.
I like the chance.
I specifically stopped myself from saying try to say chance.
Okay.
I can only do so much low-hanging fruit per
That's
show.
what she said.
Yeah. Yep.
That was the best Cylon laugh I've heard in years.
That was fantastic. No, it's like, screw you guys. I'll just sit here then.
Yeah. Can't talk right, can't laugh right. Screw you guys. I'm going to text my mom.
Text my mom.
Hey, Mom, Eddie and Jay are being mean to me.
Yeah.
That was too funny. Sorry.
So what we're gonna do is, I said, y'all, if it wasn't for the fact that I really feel like I'm drowning, we'd probably go a little bit longer, but probably not gonna go too much longer because, like I said, I need to go lay down. I wanted to do the show because, like I said, it's episode 60. Like I can't believe this. I can't believe that I've done 60, well, kind of 60 plus of these, but I'm counting it as 60 of these lives. And you guys have been on like 45 of them, if not 55. So it's crazy to me that we've done this many shows so far.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to forego the spinning of the names. I'm just going to spin for the book, and I think I took the book that I need to take off. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Did you talk about the book that you did already?
Yeah.
Which one was it?
And I guess technically,
Die.
winner's choice come off too.
Well, if it's winner's choice, I'm spinning, so I'll pick it. Yeah, Die was the book that
Oh, Die was. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so Pepto-Bismol, here we go. Here, let me shuffle them a little bit. Yeah. Come on, Paper Girls. It's not going to be Paper Girls. It's going to be Icon and Rocket Season 1. I've been wanting to read more Dakotaverse stuff, so that is excellent. I'm telling you, this thing is going to wait. It is going to wait. It's going to be the very last one on here, and then it's going to be like, oh, Paper Girls. Maybe he's saving the best for last.
Who knows?
It'll get read, though. Like, I've been continuously reading the other ones.
By what you were talking about this week, I think you're like 4 weeks ahead of your one book per day thing.
Well, I know it was just like I put the goal of at least one book, I'm not including the pick that week. Now that doesn't mean that if I go and I read a couple more things of Firepower that I won't count that as my book for the day. But like Absolute Superman was so good. I got to issue 10 and I was like, okay, all right, I've read 10 issues today of the same book. So let me back up. So the bare minimum is going to be one. And I'm trying to do a lot of these either after work or before I start working for the day. That way I can make sure that I have it done. And I said, I had no idea. And these are just random too. Like I don't have specific ones I'm going after. I just happen to look through my list of stuff and I'm like, well, I read issue 3 and 4 of this one. Might as well read issue 5. And like I said, that's why Absolute Superman is so split up. Because I read 10 issues one day, 3 issues the next day. Then I had to wait for 15 to come out. So that was another like day or two. And then I read that. So that's the goal though. At least one a day. Definitely going to try to do more. But I've probably read more comics in the last 10 days than I've read in quite some time, which is good because that's what I want to do. Like I get those times where I want to read, but I'm just like, I got to do this. And I'm so busy doing this that then I don't read. But once I start reading, I'm like, oh crap. I'm 10 issues into this series. I better, go to bed or eat or something. So and that started with doing the list. The list made it to where the books I've been meaning to read I'll start reading them. And that has really been helpful because everything that I've been interested to read that I've read from the list picks have been great. and I've continued reading them. So list picks only count after. So like Die, now that I've already done it, now if I read more of it, I can count it for my book I read that day. But if it's like Icon and Rocket, I won't count that as what I'm reading for that day. I give myself weird rules, man.
I guess.
So you're not counting the ones as reading ahead.
Right.
Where if you
It's like-
forget one day, well,
So
I
the
did
37
5
Superman
days, so.
books, that's one day.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I made it at least one a day, because I know that there are going to be some days where I definitely read more than one.
Right.
So I don't want to be like, hey, I read issue 1 through 10, so that counts as 10 days. I didn't want to be like that. I want to be like, no, I read 10 this day. This is what I read this day.
Cool.
There's always anybody out there in the chat. If you can find a way to read one of the pick books and you want to talk about it, by all means, please do so. This is an interactive show, folks. I want you all to participate if you feel like it. Or if you just want to sit and listen to me babble, I'm good with that too. And I mean, same goes for y'all. If there's ever a time where you're like, oh, that book looks interesting, and you want to read it and talk about it with me, by all means, feel free.
I have plans to read Die. Pretty sure I got a copy of it. I got from Rich, and then also Kyle. So one of the few books that I got from Rich.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said. So if there's any time y'all wonder if there's homework, that'd be the only thing that'd be like, hey, if y'all want to read the pick book this week and talk about it with me.
And then I'd be like, Jay, what was the pick book this week?
Oh, I would definitely send it to you. I'd send it to you.
I know you sent me the link to these videos too, but I'll be damned if I could find one in any of our chats. That's what took me so long to get on tonight, is I didn't have the link.
Yeah, I could have sworn I pinned it in the chat. I guess maybe I didn't.
I feel like pins
Everything
don't work on his side.
They don't work on his side?
Huh.
I don't think so. He can never see the pins.
Everything I clicked on from you that said Restream was for a collaboration. I'm like, nope, that ain't it. Nope, that ain't it. Nope, that ain't it.
All right. Well, what I will start doing, since we do have novels, Middle Earth Part 16 in our chats. Saturdays, I'll send the new link an hour before the show.
Awesome.
Anything you guys want to talk about? I feel like I've talked the whole time.
Well,
I don't really have anything new.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we haven't gone live. I'm just getting back into trying to have a semi-normal schedule and crazy busy week. So no, I was able to take a few minutes a day and throw a couple of short little vids out just for some fun, but no, that's about it for me. I am getting a kick out of seeing the love from people about Cyclops in the X-Men trailer. I've been enjoying that because he didn't get any love at all in those last movies.
No, okay. We can go in a little bit of rant about X3, for me at least.
Yeah. Everything about X3 pissed me off, from Charles to Scott. Like, what are you doing? And then they turned Phoenix into like Linda Blair. I was like, okay.
What's up, Stevie? Cyclops made me the maddest.
Mhm.
That whole thing that happened to him in that third one. I'm so glad that they got James back to do something, even if it is they're just going to end the universe and kill them. I need something better than what I got from X3. X3 really disappointed me. When they did First Class, I was like, cool, we're getting back into a good rhythm, because I thought X-Men First Class was great. I really dug that one.
Me too.
And to a lesser extent, I actually liked Apocalypse. Apocalypse was definitely not X3. They definitely could have done more with it. And I never watched the third of that set of movies. So I can't speak on that one. I just know that once again, people said for the second time they tried to do Dark Phoenix and it only works in the cartoons. And even in the cartoon, there's people was like, that just wasn't the Dark Phoenix. Whoa, okay. The pup decided, Dad, you're done tonight.
I was waiting for something like that to happen. Because he was rubbing his nose on everything. Like, it's just a matter of time.
Pay attention to me.
Was that Dark Phoenix their last X-Men movie? Because I never watched it.
I believe it was. I think it was called Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, there was a movie called Dark Phoenix, but I didn't watch it because I remembered what they did with it last time.
There we go.
I have no idea what happened. It just started getting buzzy, and then blink.
Oh, we thought maybe Puppy popped something over on you.
They could have. They could have kicked the cord on their way in.
Yeah, and I give a lot of fake hate to Cyclops. I got no issue with Cyclops. I just think it's funny that the general consensus is people either really, really love Cyclops or they really, really do not like Cyclops at all.
Now, is that the character or the actor?
No, the character. James Marsden?
Yeah.
Yeah, James Marsden's awesome. I love him. But it's just like on the experience, I've wanted to do a show where it was the folks, because there's plenty of folks on the experience themselves that they either really hate Scott or they love Scott. And I was like, I would love for us to do some kind of debate where people argue for and against Scott.
I mean, I guess I don't understand what they would hate about him.
It's the fact that there's I guess a storyline where he cheats on his wife or girlfriend that has cancer or something.
Oh, good Lord.
I don't know. Like, people have their reasons to dislike characters. There's plenty of people that don't like Gambit, which I don't understand. Gambit's a fun character. There's people that hate Superman.
I always had a hard time trying to process just what Gambit's power is good for. He can supercharge playing cards.
Anything.
He touches.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because all I've ever seen him use is playing cards, and I'm like, okay, is this like 66 Batman? What is happening here?
No, he's even charged Wolverine in the new 97 show.
Bro, when I saw
like,
that,
as he
I
threw him.
was like, why haven't they ever done that before? When I saw that, I was like, you are kidding me that they've never done that before. That was so awesome. Yeah, he could charge anything. It's just the cards are kind of like his shtick.
Sure.
Easy to throw.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever explained that in the cartoon, and that's where most of my X-Men knowledge came from. I never really read them, and I can remember sitting as a kid going, "How would you discover that one day if you threw a card, you could make it glow and blow up?" Because I don't
think he
remember
grew up a
him
lot
ever
around
using
gambling.
anything else.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know, but as a kid, I wasn't thinking. I was just like, where would that come from?
Well, I mean, could you imagine if it wasn't playing cards you found that out on?
Yeah, no kidding.
Because, I mean, powers usually develop around puberty. I'm just saying.
Just imagine if he was playing 52 card pickup.
Oh, wow.
That'd be an explosion.
Well, wow.
Hey, you went there, not me this time.
That was fantastic. Well, Gambit kind of like the character Rexplode in the Invincible series is kind of like Gambit. He can put his hands on the ground and he can put that energy into the ground, make that explode. He carries around, instead of cards, he has you know how bus drivers used to have that change thing they wore?
Oh,
like
yeah.
on a belt? He had change to where he would throw that, or he would have these just these sticks that he would throw. He even he charged his skeleton one time. Like
Bag of rocks.
yeah, just anything. And I can see why, because like a lot of knowledge I got from some of these things is cartoons as well. So like a lot of the backstory on some of these like Bishop, for example. Bishop is the one who could take energy and it transfers into the gun he has. If that's a character I'm remembering. Yeah, that's Bishop. Or like
Well, the gun is just how he channels it to disperse it back, kind of like how Klops with his eyes, the goggles channel it.
Right. Right. And then you have like Sebastian Shaw, who I knew nothing about that character, but seeing him in the First Class movie, I was like, how cool of a power is that? This dude's getting lit up, having grenades thrown at him, and he just the coolest part of that movie is after those soldiers just get done and he's like balling that energy up and he just stamps his foot on the ground. And that causes like the ground to freaking explode. Like that was such a cool power to have, is you take all that damage and then you just you disperse it like that. Like I thought it was such a cool villain.
It's been so long since I saw that movie. I couldn't even really tell you much about it.
All I remember is the guy that played Mr. Terrific was a character called Darwin in that one. And his power was basically adaptation. Where like he stuck his head in a fish tank and instead of drowning, his body grew gills so he could breathe in the water. So like I thought that was a cool power. And then he got wasted, so
Which, if it really would have stuck to his powers, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
I think I read that in the comics, like he's a big, powerful character that a lot of people don't have the ability to kill him.
Yeah, it was one of those senseless movie deaths, you know, to rally the team together or whatever.
Right.
Which I usually can't stand those. And I was like, man, he was a cool character. I wish they would have kept him. And then,
yeah, like Coulson in Avengers. That still pisses me off that they had to kill him off in that.
And then they brought him back to life.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Stupid show.
Oh, Shield was
Show
dope.
wasn't stupid.
I
Sure.
made it through the first few episodes of it, but then when they made that main good guy out to really be Hydra and they made the Bigfoot, I lost interest. In
That was the whole part of it, was to tie it into Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I get that, but they didn't have to turn the main good guy Hydra.
Yes, they did. That was such a great turn.
It did, and I turned it right off, and that was the end. It just wasn't, as Jay says, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, but I tell a lot of people that, though, if you can make it to that part, that's when the show takes off, and then you start getting like freaking Powers Booth and Bill Paxton and all those people showing up playing awesome characters, and the Inhumans show up.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name that plays what's her name's dad?
Kyle MacLachlan?
Daisy. Like, he's hilarious
Kyle
in that
MacLachlan,
show.
Yeah. He was like,
Dune.
I think they called him like Mr. Hyde or
Original Dune.
something.
Yes. Yeah, he was hilarious. He cracked me up in that show. Even though he wasn't supposed to be, or I guess they were trying to be comedic with it, it was before they were overdoing it.
Right, because he was the doctor, right?
Something.
They called him the
Like,
doctor
it was-
or something like that.
Yeah, he had a more serious part, and then it went comedic, kind of. Like, it wasn't so dark. It just went jokey. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen that part of the show, or any of it for that matter.
Yeah, I need to.
I don't even
rewatch
think I
some.
finished it because they took that break.
Yeah, it suffered a lot
I
from.
think.
Yeah, it suffered a lot from, especially when Winter Soldier was coming out. Since Winter Soldier was delayed,
Mhm.
they delayed that particular episode where they had the big turn. So it was like, you
Mhm.
guys have only been on for a couple of weeks, and you're taking some kind of break just so you can line up with the movie, because it would have given away the plot of Winter Soldier.
Right.
So connected universes are fine, but you got to have a good plan. And it was weird to me that they connected it like that, but the Battle of New York and all that stuff, they didn't outright call it.
It was called
like,
The Event or something.
Yeah, because they did the same thing with Netflix Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't
Like, they
refer
would-
to it for whatever reason.
Yeah, they would skip around events, and then like, I think the biggest guest star they had from the MCU was Samuel L. Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
and there were other
Yeah, the
stars that
helicopter scene.
wanted. Yeah, and there were other stars that wanted to be, like Robert Downey Jr. wanted to be on an episode.
Lady
Hawkeye.
Sif.
Yeah,
She
Lady
was in
Sif
a
was
couple
there.
of them.
Yeah. But it was just weird. It was kind of like the TV division and the movie division didn't get along for some reason. So just weird things happened. It's kind of like how in Arrow, they were supposed to get Bruce Wayne, but they couldn't use him. There was a Suicide Squad episode where Harley Quinn is in the trailer, but they can't use Harley Quinn. Yeah. Like I said, if this newer, Disney Plus Marvel and DCU with what they're doing, as long as it actually connects, like, I've never needed to be beaten over the head that Superman and Batman exist in the same world. Just like I've never needed that for like Spider-Man and Iron Man being in the same world. There's got to be a way to do it to where, hey, it's connected, but the whole thing about the connected universe is like, well, if these people knew that Spider-Man was fighting Kingpin, why didn't they help him? Well, if they did that, there wouldn't be like a point to having solo movies, now would there? If there was always like somebody to come help. In the DC, you wouldn't need anybody. You would just send Superman. You wouldn't need anybody else. Superman would just solo everybody. There would be no other movies.
Yep, that's what makes all these, big team movies a little bit tougher to accept because of those kind of things. Because you're like, okay, where were these Eternals when Thanos was this, and where were these when that? If you start playing that game,
Yeah.
But yeah, you just kind of got to let it go. But it's been so long since I saw Shield, and it made such a little impact. I can't even remember what excuse they gave for Coulson being alive. I don't even remember.
Like they infused him with Kree blood, and that wound up being like regenerative something, or it was a different body. I can't remember exactly either, but it was something.
Okay.
They did
I'm
brainy.
not the only one that don't remember that.
Yeah, they did brainy stuff on him because Tahiti's a magical place.
Mm.
Well, they did have a
my
Kree
thing is
alien in the first episode.
Yeah, that was a weird thing to me too. The Kree were the bad guys. The Skrulls were pretty much the good guys, or they were just like
Right, which carried over into the Marvel movie or Captain Marvel movie, essentially.
And then they would have done Secret Invasion right, people would still be talking about that show because Secret Invasion, the book, is phenomenal. Secret Invasion, the show, was hard to get through.
Well, why'd they have to kill her off
so.
at the end?
Yeah.
That was another wasted death.
Yeah. Like, spoilers. How you going to kill Robin, man? How you going to kill Robin Scherbatsky? Maria Hill.
I don't know, man. What was even the point? Everything they'd been through, and she gets shot in the back running towards Nick. I mean, really?
Yeah, but she thinks it's Nick that does it. But
yeah, I know, but still, like that's how she goes out after everything she's been through.
Well, yeah.
I just thought it was unnecessary.
Yeah. No, I'm on board with you. It's like surviving a plane crash to get tetanus.
Right.
Well, so I'm going into the new year of comic book movies with handled expectations. Now, what I mean by that is, do I think Supergirl movie is going to be fire? Yep, I do. But cautious optimism, because I don't want to think that and overhype it for myself and then go and watch it like I did with other shows that have been in the DCU and then be like, it was fine. It's funny though that my most anticipated isn't even Doomsday. It's Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Mm-hmm.
That's my most
too.
Yeah, that's my most.
What's funny is my most anticipated movie of the year is Mortal Kombat 2.
That's wild to me.
They've been really releasing some awesome trailers. And I just love Urban in the first place.
True.
And that's what's got me most hype is that he's the one that's in it. But then definitely it would be Spider-Man.
I thought the first one was surprisingly good.
Me too. Not if you mean the one from the 90s. That one was terrible.
Nah, that one was awesome when I was a kid.
Well, yeah.
Right back.
I was like
Okay.
an older teen at that time, and it wasn't so awesome.
Yeah. But the first one, like I said, when they were still doing the it was one of those released in theaters but released straight to streaming at the same time or a day after or something.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know a lot of people are weirdly against. That's a debate I've never really understood. Like, well, it's going to kill theaters if you stream at the same time as movie theaters. And to me, I think there's plenty of people that still love going to the movies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it is going to hurt it as bad as people think. Like, there was a time, I think back when it was still Time Warner, before it was Comcast. Time Warner had this thing where you could rent it same day as theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I've just always been a person that, yeah, there are certain things. If I want to see it movie wise, okay. Yeah, I'll go to the movies once in a while. But
There's definitely evidence out there that shows you that it wouldn't kill it. Because look what happens when they re-release 30-year-old movies in a theater. The theater's packed to see it in the theater.
yeah.
They own it at home on VHS and DVD,
Yeah.
but they still went to the theater. So I think that's your proof right there that I don't think it would kill it.
Yeah. Like, again, to me, it's a preference. Like, I know people give Rex crap a lot about, well, he's just going to wait till it's streaming. There's a lot of people that do that, though.
Me,
lot of people
I'm
do
on.
that. Yeah. Like, it's a time thing, but it's also, although my projector's busted, I have a projector. Like, if I wanted some kind of experience like that, I just break out the projector screen.
Right.
And guess what? If I got to go take a leak or, hey, we got to take a log out or something like that.
And those are things you don't have to think about until you get over 40.
Yeah.
Best part of the movie, and you're pissing down your leg if you don't leave. You got to leave.
Because, folks, remember, Infinity War and Endgame were like 3.5 hour long movies.
Did you hear what the expected runtime is of Doom?
Isn't it 325 or something like that?
347 today is what they put out. Dude, really?
Hey.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I know. It drew the conversation of, well, people complained about Justice League, the Snyder Cut being too long because it was like 4 hours. And I'm like, well, here's the thing, though. Again, as much as I love the movie, if you would have taken out a lot of the slow-mo,
right,
you probably would have had it about the same time, if not a little less. But I mean, it's crazy nowadays. I watched a movie not that long ago, and it was like 90 minutes long, and I was like, it was like blinking, it was over.
Exactly. Like every 80s movie was like 90 minutes long.
I was like, holy crap, we kind of flew through that story, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. And it was only like the big epic movies that would even be close to 2 hours.
Yeah.
But your average movie was like 90 minutes, maybe 100 minutes.
Yeah.
Especially the horror slasher genre. Hell, those are usually in the 80-minute range.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, I don't know.
But if you think about it, that's also not too long after they had the drive-in where you used to have to watch 2 movies. Well, both movies were 4 hours long. So that's probably another reason why they kept movies shorter, were for drive-in theaters.
Yeah. I guess my question to this is, where does it stop? When do we get to a point with movies, at least in theaters, right? Like afterwards, we had the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings and stuff came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
When do theater movies? Where's the limit? How long is too long? Like if you need that long to tell the story, would it serve you better to do it in two parts?
Only if they release the two parts at the same time.
Mm.
I wouldn't want to watch the first part and then wait. I mean, that was hard enough when the Tolkien movies were in the theater. Because, you go see it and you're all pumped. It's like, God, it's a year away.
Especially how some of them ended. My goodness.
Right, exactly.
I couldn't imagine watching those in theater. That would just make me mad.
Right. Well, I had an idea where they were going because they were kind of keeping close to the book. But yeah, I wasn't even sure what was going to happen. Fun stuff.
Oh, it's crazy where you get like, hey, we're gonna release whatever they called that Kill Bill volume thing they were doing, where it was both movies back to back.
Yeah.
It's like, is there an intermission in there? Like those are the questions I ask now.
Yeah, there better be.
Because I've never had to pee so much as I do in a movie theater 2 minutes into the previews when I've had some of my Coke.
Yeah.
Previews, I'm good. Then it gets to the movie, like right at the beginning of the movie. Most times, I'm like, "Oh, come on!
Mm-hmm.
I can't hold it for 2.5 hours."
Nope, not anymore. When nature comes a knocking, we can't put her on hold no more.
Yeah, exactly.
Heck, I can remember having an iron bladder and drinking beer with the guys all night and not piss until we got back to our dorm. It's like, boy, are those days gone.
Yeah. Now I took a sip of my ice cold Coke. 5 minutes later, I gotta take a leak.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the question I have to folks. If you're watching on the rewind or anything, how long is too long for a theatrical movie? How long are you willing to sit in a movie theater? And if a movie is going to be 4+ hours long, do you believe that there should be an intermission? Do you think they should bring intermissions to things like that?
Yes, for sure.
If you're going to have a movie that's almost 4 hours long, definitely have an intermission.
Yeah. Because especially with the prices of movies, unless you're one of those people that go to like matinees and have all kinds of deals or whatever. Imagine going to the movies, spending like $80 to see a movie, and you miss it because you gotta piss every once in a while.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to watch this again because I missed a big plot point or whatever.
If anything kills the theater, it's going to be the $12 buckets of popcorn and the $80 compliment. Look at this. It's got R2D2 on it thing you can buy, and the $5 sodas. That's what's going to kill them. It's not going to be Netflix. Because, I mean, like, between not having to, miss it and go and pee, and it doesn't cost you $80 in snacks. The last time I took me, my wife, and daughter out, it was almost $100 after, had a drink and got popcorn and her candy. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like 60 for us.
That's why not being a sports guy, I don't understand that either.
Oh, no. Now the tickets are what they are. Oh, hell no. I'll never go to another one anyway, probably with my back the way it is. But it's crazy. Now that the Lions were actually decent, their cheapest ticket was like $260. I'm like, you frickin' jerk offs. After we follow you through all that shit, you finally get decent and you triple your prices. Because when I had season tickets, when we had Barry Sanders, my season ticket was $50 a game. Shit, you can't even get a bleacher seat for that anymore at a baseball game. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's just the ticket for the game. That's not
Right.
food or getting anything to drink or
Right.
anything like that.
Right.
Or a poncho if it starts raining or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts to me. But again, I've never understood why there's so many people that are so against streaming. Like there's some of us that just we don't like crowds. We want to see these movies. We want to support the movies, but we don't like being around people.
Yeah, and it ain't like they're free.
Yeah.
You still pay for your stream.
Yeah, and it's the option is still available for people that want to go to the movies. You know, people like, oh, you got to experience this in IMAX and all this other stuff. And I'm like, that's cool if that does it for you. You just give me a TV where I can see what's going on and I'm fine.
Right. Not to mention if you're one of these people that wear glasses or have an eye condition that the 3D glasses they make you put over don't always fit, or they blur stuff, or they can give you migraines because they don't match with your glasses or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, anytime I went to see a 3D movie, I had to put my contacts in. I couldn't put the things over my glasses.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. I don't have contacts.
Well, I don't anymore. It's
Never do
too lazy
contacts.
for them. Oh, it sucks.
I always feel like something's in my eye. Can't stand it.
Yep. And they dry out, and no matter what.
For me, it's just the thought of staring at my finger while I trudge my eye. No, that is so not going to happen. My other hand will reach up, grab that finger, and pull it back down.
It took me a while to get used to them because I wore them for work because working in a freezer, I'd broken my glasses so many times breaking down pallets, and we'd have heavy-ass frozen bakery loaves on top of the pallet, and the box would come down and smack me in the face. So eventually I just went to contacts to stop having to keep buying glasses.
Well, why didn't you just quit
Some of those
beaming yourself
NBA
with
glasses
the
that got the.
pounds? He's got a freaking face mask on because he's got a bakery upstairs.
That's the best advice I think I've ever heard. Why did I just stop getting smacked in the face?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, goodness. You know what? Can we time travel back?
I never thought of that.
Can we go back 10 or 15 years? I could tell myself that.
Whatever, Mr. Hyatt. That one time when Jay did that impression of Garrison when he was talking about basketball was so funny.
I forgot how much Doug Raymer cared about kids.
Oh, that was so great.
Yeah.
I clipped that as one of our funniest moments of last year.
Nice. Hopefully this thing with going on with Sean's schedule, hopefully this gets fixed eventually because, you know, I try to tell people, I try to make it a point to let everyone know, you know, it's not just me here. There's other people here, not just Nope and Ed that help me on the lives, but there are other people on the channel. You don't see them that often, but they are here. I promise. As you can tell, folks, the sickness kind of took out any kind of planning I was going to have for this week. I was like, cool, episode 60. Tuesday night, I was like, oh, there's a scratch in my throat. And I knew as soon as I felt the scratch in my throat, I was like, I'm about to get sick. So couldn't plan out too much. So, but again, short shows every once in a while, they're fine. Come back next week. I'll have something planned. I knew we were going to do a Welcome to Derry show, because in between that and the week after, I was giving Sean enough time to get acclimated to his new schedule. So 2 or 3 weeks from now, we could do another review show. So I'm not sure exactly what the plan is just yet, because I knew that we would all need time to rewatch Welcome to Derry if we were going to talk about it. So I'm not sure. Hopefully I'll be feeling a little bit better this week so I can actually figure out something to do, not just it's the 60th episode, I can't cancel. So
that's cool. Hope you get to feeling better.
Me too. It has been kind of a struggle, and the fact that we made it 2 hours. That was about an hour longer than I thought I was going to be able to go. So, yeah, we'll be back next week, and I'll probably talk about this more throughout the month. On, let me see what it is, February 7th. I will not have a live. It's our niece's first birthday. They live in Dallas, so we'll be in Dallas that day. I'll mention it the next couple of shows. So just saying it's a perfect opportunity, not holding anybody to it, not holding y'all to it, just a suggestion. If y'all wanted to do a live in that spot or something, we can still share it on both channels, even though I wouldn't be there. Like I said.
Would Sean be going with you?
I mean, probably not, but I don't know. I'd have to ask him if he'd be off for one thing, or two, he'd be up to being the person who ran the show.
I was just curious.
Or technically, we could just do it like we're doing this one.
Yeah.
Where somebody just got to jump on there and add it to the room.
Yep.
Yeah. Like y'all could, if you want it, like, again, it's not a set in stone. You guys need to do this or anything, but a suggestion. Y'all host it on your channel, and I'll just stream it on mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll figure something out. Lots of time.
Yeah. That's what I says. Let's just figure it out.
Screw planning, because every time you make a plan, something comes and breaks it anyways.
That's true. That's true. Well, all right, fellas, I'm going to drop y'all off. I'm going to wrap this up early.
Yeah, feel brother, feel better.
I will. All right, guys.
Hail Hydra.
Yep.
And then this one.
Later.
There we go. All righty, folks. I know, kind of a weird all over the place show. Like I said, I've been sick since Tuesday. Tried to put something together just so I could have a show, so I could be here. Consistency is key, all that jazz. If you're new here, first time watching anything, welcome. We're an open kind of show, very interactive with the fans in the chat. Again, the offer will always stand if anybody in the chat ever wants to hop on, talk about something, unbox something, want to review something, you want to join one of the review shows, or, if we're going to talk about a show or a movie or something that you like and you want to pop on, by all means, send me a message. I'll send you the link. You can always come on. You don't have to have your camera on. You could be just like this, just Jay, a talking head. In fact, hold on. I was at first going to use this one. So I'll end the show with this one. If you want to come on, you can come on. I want you to join us if you feel like it, if you're comfortable. Again, it's always an option, folks. And as always, thank you all for being here. I know, kind of a weird show. Hopefully, I have a better one put together for you next week. I have the list book and all that. Don't forget, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I am going to end this now before my voice is completely gone. But just a quick reminder one more time. Tomorrow on The Experience, I might not be talking too much. Kyle might tell me just to stay at home. But there will be a producers live sales show at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on The Experience tomorrow. So be sure to check that out. Or just sub up to The Experience so you catch all the cool stuff we're doing over there. But that, folks, as soon as I find where the thingy is, that's going to do it all for me. Thank you all for being here. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll catch you during the week and next week. Take care. Later.